Now I call the meeting to order again with the ethics awareness statement. In accordance with the State Government Ethics Act, it is the duty of every board member to avoid conflicts of interest. Does any board member have any known conflict of interest with respect to any matters coming before the board today? If so, please identify the conflict and remain from any participation in the particular matter involved. Does anybody need to be heard from?
No.
All right. Then the next thing on the agenda is public comment section. I'm going to read this before we get into the public comments portion of today's meeting. I'd like to review the guidelines of participation. Each speaker is limited to 5 minutes. Please state your name for the record before beginning your comments. Speakers are expected to address the board respectfully and confine remarks to matters within the board's authority. Please be advised that this is a public comment period. While board members may be present and listening, questions directed to individual board members will not be answered during this time unless permission is granted by the chair. The purpose of this segment is to allow the board to hear from the public, not to engage in dialogue. The chair reserves the right to enforce time limits and maintain order to ensure that all participants have a fair opportunity to speak. Thank everyone in advance for your cooperation. Do we have any members of the public that would like to speak?
Yes, Kenneth Wayne.
Okay. Mr. Wayne, you're recognized if you want to begin with your comments.
All right. Good afternoon. My name's Kenneth Wayne, license number 2137. I'm on this call today to call the board out for its total failure to enforce the North Carolina's advertising laws. Right now, illegal, unlicensed operators are dominating search results across the state. They are taking income from legitimate tax-paying businesses and putting the public at risk. And this board is standing by and letting it happen. This board loves to repeat the line that its purpose is to protect the public, but your actions tell a completely different story. Chairman Jeffries stated on the record, and I quote, "I'd rather see money spent on people that have already been hurt, choosing to withhold resources from policing the internet before damage occurs." Let's be clear, waiting for North Carolina citizens to get ripped off, scammed, or compromised at their own front door before you act isn't consumer protection, it's gross negligence. State advertising laws under North Carolina General Statute 74F-12B were written specifically to stop bad actors before they can trap a victim. To make matters worse, this board recently voted down our petition regarding exempt entities advertising illegally. Chairman Jeffries claimed on the record that the board took its time and gave the petition serious thought regardless of what was being put out there. Yet he admitted on the very same record, and I quote, "The title alone tells you we cannot do anything," proving he did not even bother to read the actual text. If Chairman Jeffries had actually read the petition, he would know that while certain entities may be exempt from holding a locksmith license, no one is exempt from North Carolina's advertising laws. And I would be remiss if I didn't note that not a single public member on this board, the very individuals appointed by law to protect North Carolina citizens, asked a single question or spoke up to challenge that total failure of review. By refusing these entities accountability, you have created a double standard that punishes law-abiding locksmiths while protecting illegal operators. And let's dispose of another excuse right now. Enforcing advertising laws requires zero heavy investigation. Advertising without a license number is self-evident. The ad itself is the evidence. It does not take private detectives or thousands in legal fees to see an illegal ad. It takes 5 seconds and a stamp to issue a cease and desist. Since you claim you shouldn't spend board money to police the internet, I'm stripping that last excuse away right now. I have a check made out to the North Carolina Locksmith Licensing Board for $1,000. This is a restricted contribution. It is strictly earmarked for one purpose, to cover certified postage, administrative processing, and legal paperwork for all 80 documented unlicensed advertisers that I have already handed to you on a silver platter, a sum that fully covers standard administrative costs for every single target on that list. Tomorrow, I am mailing this $1,000 check directly to your office via certified mail. You can accept this private money and finally do the job the General Assembly created this board to do, or you can refuse it. But if you refuse it, do not tell the public you are here to protect them. It will prove once and for all that allowing illegal operators to run wild in North Carolina is an intentional choice by the board. Thank you.
Okay. I do want to address one thing, Ryan. As a board, my understanding is we cannot take private funding. Is that correct?
So the board is funded by licensing fees, but I would have to defer over to Ms. Catherine regarding the acceptance of private money, but I don't believe so.
Okay.
We'd be glad to offer, we'd be glad to discuss that more with the board in closed session if they want to seek attorney-client privileged advice on whether they can accept that private money or not.
Okay. I just wanted to address the fact that in Mr. Wayne's comment that it would prove at this point in time, I just want to make note, being this is recorded for the public, that his assertion, our refusal, if we're not allowed to take the money, we're not going to be able to, and that would be because of state law, not because of any other reason. Do we have anybody else from the public?
Jeffries, I would just like to, and I defer to council's comment for when a closed session is necessary. This is Garrett Davis, public member. I also want to have that discussion related to potential legal implications for the board accepting private money related to enforcement actions generally requested by a member of the profession.
Yeah, I understand, and duly noted. I just wanted to put it out there as far as his assertion. If we refuse to take his check or cash his check, that it was for the reasons he stated, and that very well it could be the reasons because we're not allowed. So with that, and the rest of it will go into private comment to get legal advice in regards to that. Do we have any other members of the public that would like to be heard from?
Nope.
Okay. Not hearing from anybody. Next on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion for approval?
Goodwin so moves.
Have a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. The agenda is approved. Next is the approval of previous meeting minutes.
Mr. Chair, before a motion is provided on that, I would ask that there be an amendment, a corrective amendment in the section that says approval of the minutes that are in the minutes we're getting ready to consider.
Mhm.
It says the word rules in there when it should say amended minutes. Section approval of the minutes. Line 4. I think it should say amended minutes instead of amended rules. If I'm correct in that, I would move to correct the draft minutes to reflect that before a motion for the amended minutes.
All right. Barton, do you see the section he's talking about?
I sure do. We just have rules on the brain.
Okay.
Thanks, Wayne.
Yep.
All right. All right. So based on that change, that Mr. Goodwin pointed out, do I have a motion to approve with that change?
I'll move that.
All right. So do I have a second to approve with that change?
Second.
All right. All those in favor of approving the minutes with the change?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. So minutes are approved with that change. The next is approval of financial report. Do I have a motion for approval?
Motion.
All right. Thank you, Diane. And do I have a second? Deanna, your microphone's off.
Sorry, I second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay. We'll carry forward the approval of the financial report. Next is my report. I'm sure you guys saw an attachment, a letter addressing North Carolina locksmiths and interested stakeholders in regard to our position about the current rule that's open for public comment. Does everybody have a chance to read that?
Yes.
Does anybody have any opposition, anything in there, or feel like we need to add anything in reference to that, putting it out to the
I think it looks great.
okay. So with that being said, the only thing that we really need to address is I think there's a lot of well, I don't think there is. There is a lot of misconceptions and misinformation floating around out there about all this stuff. I think this addresses that and hopefully puts people in a different mindset, or at least an understanding of where our position is. We can send this out as a mass email. Honestly, a lot of people ignore emails today with stuff. We could send it out in snail mail, actual physical paper where somebody gets a mailbox. But that's going to cost us, estimate around $1,000. And I put it to you guys, which way you want to go. Do you want to spend $1,000 to get out there in people's hands, or do you want to just post this on the website and put it out there as an email to the licensed locksmiths?
I would lean towards this with the ability to post it on the website and leave it on a page for some period of time, which, I guess that decision hasn't been made yet, but I don't see any reason why it couldn't just stay on while this is a relevant issue. Email, there are certainly benefits to hard copy notice. I mean, obviously due process considerations, there's mailing envelopes that say important, must respond by. But I think the same thing can be said about emails, especially if those emails come from the board that the intended recipients, licensed locksmiths, should be opening up emails from. What that email looks like. But I think that, given that, enforcement actions also cost money, I would lean towards, maybe multiple emails, or at least one or two with clear subject line in all caps, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. And that's fine. I mean, there again, I intend on posting this as a chairman's statement on having Barton do it on the website. I just know that not everybody goes to the website and putting an email out there. The main question is do we want to send it through snail mail, or do we want to just stick with the electronic email?
Well, I think I have a follow-up question then. As part of member licensing and reporting, our members require, at least I know with attorney, we have to have an email on file with the state bar. Is the licensing board at that point, or is it just the only thing they're required to provide is an address for the individual or the business entities?
We have emails for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of my concerns that I had is while we're having this public comment on the rule, is sending this out via email might confuse. It might open up more public comment, which is not a bad thing, but that people might have already submitted a comment, or think they're applying to this, and would that count as a comment? And I always use the analogy, it's kind of like telling somebody election day is on November 1st and it's really on November 3rd. And if you went and voted, and all because you thought it was this day and it's really that day, did I rob you of your vote? Is confusion about public comment on this rule robbing people of their public comment? So I just kind of wanted to make.
Barden, I think that's a fair point, and let me just say this: what was animating my comment was I think the implied duty that all members of this commission have, including the public members, to be a good steward of acknowledged limited resources. But I think your comment speaks to the paramount role of the board in this context, which is to have this specific public comment period, which I know you and Catherine have had required discussions about. And so with that said, I'm not retracting my point generally about doing what makes sense bottom line, but I think that still makes sense about the bottom line there. Barden said confusion can lead to additional cost as well. So
and I just wasn't trying to negate anything you were saying, Garrett. I was just kind of saying that was my head.
I agree with. I agree with Barden.
All right. Well, then I'll put this out here. I mean, obviously, based on what we have right now, nobody has any opposition to what I've written about the stance of the board or disagrees with anything in there. So with that, do we want to do a motion to do a hard mailing of this, as well as, of course, posting on the website? And another thing that I thought about, Liz, help me out here because I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you think you could do like a AI animated video or a video to post on the YouTube channel in regards to our stance, using this as a script, our stance on this rule change?
Sure. Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So with that being said, I think the only thing we're dealing with.
I lost audio.
Are you with me? Somebody said lost audio.
That was Jack. We can hear him and see him, but he can't hear us.
Jack, you back with us?
All of a sudden, I lost your audio. And I think.
Can you hear us now, Jack? Can you hear us, Jack? No, Jack? No audio?
I heard Jack for a second there.
Yeah, I can hear him, but I don't know if he can hear us.
Okay.
Let me. All right. I just sent him a text. Told him we can hear him for him to try and sign back in.
While we're waiting on him, Liz, if you need any help with the AI portion, anything like that, just let me know.
Okay, yeah. I just kind of came into this a little bit late into the meeting. So is this a document that I already have in my email?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. This was
Okay,
the letter
great.
from the chairman. It was the last document attached to the email we got yesterday.
Great. Okay. All right. I just wanted to clarify. And I'll come up with some stuff and then we can, kind of work through, and then I'll submit it to you, John, for final approval.
Okay.
Fair enough. If you run into any issues or if you want any feedback, I'm a big
Absolutely.
AI nerd. So,
Okay.
all right. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate it, David. The only other thing I wanted to tell you about is in the past week or week and a half, I guess, I've signed 2 consent orders, and we're kind of awaiting the actions to take place in those consent orders. But that's just some stuff behind the scenes as far as 2 situations we've addressed and got consent orders by having to go through the whole long drawn out trial process and through courts.
John,
Yes.
John, would you characterize those consent orders as being related to unlicensed activity?
No.
Oh, okay.
Those consent orders, when I say no, one's involving an individual that we've been dealing with for a long, long time, and he's been going through appeals processes. Without putting names out there, I'm sure all the board members can figure that one out. But we've come to another consent order to hopefully end that long running multi-year case. The other one is about a licensed locksmith that was dispatching unlicensed people. And that's a consent order where the individual signed that. And like I said, I don't want to get into a lot of it until we see some actions from their side of stuff. But of course, those consent orders get posted on the website too for the public to see. All right. Well, that's all I really got. I appreciate everybody's work behind the scenes, and I'll turn it over to Barden. Let him give his report.
Thanks, John. Just real quick on my end, been working with legal counsel we've been receiving public comments on the proposed rule. We've also received, as of yesterday, 2 more public records requests from the same person who has requested other requests. We're working to generate those documents in compliance with that. But other than that, I don't have anything else to report.
Okay. Go to turn it over to the Education Exam Committee.
Yeah, we had an exam July 18th. There was 12 scheduled, 1 no-show, all passed. Everybody passed. That was in Asheville. And the next exam is August 22nd in Winterville.
And I'll be proctoring that one, if you don't mind. It's not far from me, and we kind of don't have anybody on the eastern side of the state as much as we used to. So I'll proctor that one. And then, Diane, I've got one coming up a little bit later in October that I need to talk about scheduling a proctor for. But that's all on mine.
Okay.
Thank you, Barden.
All right. David, you have anything?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Next on the agenda is unfinished business. I'm personally not aware of any unfinished business. Do you have anything, Barden?
No, sir.
Okay. Next on the agenda is new business.
I think that'll just be what we cover in legal counsel.
Okay. The only thing that, because I don't know that we got a full decision. Did we have a motion to do a hard mailing of the statement from the chair, or are we going to leave it as just electronic side of stuff?
I would make a motion to do a hard mailing.
Okay. So do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of doing a hard mailing as well as the electronic portions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition?
Nope.
Okay. All right, Barton. So we got that approved. So we can work on getting that sent out. Next thing is legal report, which we need to go into closed session for. So I'm gonna need a motion to go in closed session in regards to the legal report.
Goodwin so moves. We go into a closed session for legal report.
All right. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. And with that being done, everybody in favor of going to closed session?
Aye.
And
Any
John, just
opposition? I'm sorry. Any
Just for-
opposition? I think I'm cutting somebody off.
It's okay, John. It's Catherine. I was just going to say, for clarity of the motion, I want to make sure it's reflected that we're taking this vote to go into closed session to obtain attorney-client privileged advice with regard to pending legal issues that the board may have questions about. But anything that's not pertaining to us providing legal advice will be conveyed in open session.
Okay. All right. So we'll clarify with that language, Mr. Goodwin. Are you good with that clarification?
I am, and it may be implied, but I certainly want to indicate that only legal counsel and Mr. Barden and members of the board would be in that meeting, and not anyone else outside of our group.
Okay.
Legal session.
All right. So with that being said, who was the second that we had?
I had Jack.
I think I was the
Jack.
second.
Okay.
Yeah, I was the
So
second.
Jack, are you good with that?
I am good with that.
Okay. So Jack has got the second. Now, everybody that's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay. So we're going to go into closed session. Ryan, you let us know when. All right. We're back from closed session. And basically, agenda, the next thing is to adjourn. But before we do that, I'm going to bring up new business in regards to a petition that the board received on June 18th of this year, 2026. Want to open it up to anyone that wants to file a motion in regards to that petition.
I will make the motion regarding that position as soon as I can find it. Proposed. I'm just trying to pull up the petition right now. Proposed. Okay. My apologies. I'm struggling to find it. Okay. This is the petition by Mr. Wayne, correct?
Yes.
Yep. So I'm see if I can pull this up. I thought I had it. Wayne. All right, come on. Okay, I have to apologize. I'm not in front of my computer. I thought I had this right with me. All right, I'm gonna have to retract my motion and let somebody else maybe make that motion.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
That's fine.
considering that we're already in the process of public comment. We just had a change in wording and there wasn't anything new introduced. Jack, I'll be happy to make that motion.
Appreciate it.
And I'd like to make a motion that we go ahead and dismiss that. We don't want to confuse the public. We want to be able to allow public comment to finish on these exact changes in rulemaking. So I'll go ahead and make that motion.
All right. Just to clarify, your motion in regards to this new petition that was filed by Mr. Wayne on June 18th, 2026 with the board. Your motion is to deny that, and the reason for denial is the fact that he has a petition that is currently that was granted by the board, and the board is still actively pursuing that initial petition from last year. Is that
Yes,
correct?
sir. Thank you for the clarification, but that's exactly what I mean. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Do we have a second?
I will second that.
All right. So with that, all in favor of denial of the June 18th, 2026? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? All right. So the petition from June 18th, 2026 has been denied. My understanding is Barden, we need to send him notice about the denial. And the reason for the denial is, and legal can clarify this if I'm kind of wrong in mine, but his current petition is duplicative of a petition we already have that he did from last year and is still ongoing. So we've denied it based on the fact that we already have one in regards to what he's petitioned for this time.
Okay.
Good.
All right. All right, guys. That's all I've got. Anybody else got anything else?
That's it for here.
Okay.
I had
All
one
right.
question.
Sure.
Barton, what was that date in Winterville? Was August? Was it this month? Was the last next testing?
Yeah, August 22nd. Yes.
Okay.
And I can handle that one if you want, but then there'll be one in I need to check the schedule, but there's one in Burlington that may need help on.
I was just gonna say if I didn't have physical therapy, anything going that day, I am due to be down east that week, I believe, and I could probably I hadn't been to the Winterville location, but if you needed any assistance, I may be able to help you on that day. I didn't know how many you had.
I'll let you know as we get closer.
All right.
I got enough.
Right.
And the one in Burlington, if you need help with that one, I can make that drive.
I pulled it up. It's September 12th at Alamance Community College.
Yeah, I've got some travel plans in this month and possibly in December, but otherwise I should be available.
September 12th, I may be in Wilmington. That'd be good, David, if you could probably help out then. I believe I'll be in Wilmington on that day.
Yeah, not a problem. Just let me know.
It will.
As always, I appreciate everybody and I'm glad we got to get together. Hopefully the next one will be in person. But with that, next meeting is September 2nd. And we'll be going over the public comments hearing in regards to the rule that we have going on right now. Anybody got a motion for adjournment?
Good one, so moves.
All right. Do we have a second?
Second it.
Second.
All right. All those in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, guys, we are adjourned until September 2nd, unless we have an emergency meeting between. Appreciate it.
Thank
All right.
you
Thanks, everybody.
very much.
Yeah, good seeing you.
Bob.
Thanks, everybody. Bye bye now.